Here with Alex Gibby of Harvard, getting ready for NCAAs. Coach, I don't know if you guys were here yesterday. It seems like conditions are a little more favorable.
It seems so. We were stuck on the tarmac in Boston for a little bit, so we missed the fun. But they got us here, so that's all that counts.
Nice. Well, what are the spirits like on the Crimson team this weekend?
You know, with the men in particular, like most of our guys have done this dance before. You know, we've had 2, 3, 4 years of NCAA experience, so I think they're looking forward to the opportunity. I don't see the nerves present. You know, with the women, you know, we were the last team in, so they're just excited, like, and looking forward to the opportunity to beat some people. Coming in ranked 31st is in some ways a blessing. Every step up the rung is a reward. So we're doing pretty well.
How are you guys feeling after regionals in particular? I know sometimes, you raced last week and now you're coming into the biggest one just a week later. So how is everyone feeling after that?
You know, I think pretty good. We had those conversations, you know, with our group. Some of them needed to do some work coming off the regionals. Some of them needed to rest coming off the regionals. I think they're a pretty perceptive group, and so we follow their lead in that capacity. And so, yeah, I think they're doing pretty well. And again, with the men, we've got a lot of institutional knowledge, having done that 8-day window a few times, and we know what works and we know what doesn't for them. And so, yeah, I think they're in a good spot. But, you know, I think ultimately we'll find out tomorrow.
Graham Blank's obviously defending champ at this event. You know, we got to see you guys featured in Workout Wednesday this week, and you were talking about kind of his progression coming off injuries last year and the timing and the build that eventually led to the Olympics.
Yeah.
Where is he at now, and was he still building from the Olympics, or was there a reset and then kind of a rebuild for cross?
No, we learned a little bit from indoors. I think, you know, if you go back a year coming off of the NCAA championship, the collegiate record, like, we took our downtime as normal, our normal active rest, but I don't think he ever got away emotionally. And so when he started to build back, it was like, okay, how do I take the next step, like right now? And so we were really purposeful after the Olympics about getting away from the sport for a little bit. We went out and hung out with his high school friends who marched to the beat of a different drummer. And so he got away a little bit, and then we just didn't skip a step in the build. And so he, you know, a period there in late September, most of October, he was pretty tired. But, you know, by the end of October, he started to look pretty good. I think he's back to Paris level fitness. Obviously, we're not that type of track sharp, but the aerobic fitness certainly is there. And so I'm happy about that.
The individual race here on the men's side is going to be, highly anticipated, really competitive. Obviously, Graham Blanks is the defending champion. You know, what are you telling him going into this race, you know, especially considering we're out here in Wisco, a little chilly, probably, you know, championship style racing. Like, what are you telling him as he's going into tomorrow?
Well, you know, not much, because he knows how to do this dance. And I could tell earlier in the week, you know, you start to bridge some of those conversations, test the waters on what the athlete needs. And right now he just needs me to shut up. You know, he's prepared. You know, I wouldn't say he gets grumpy, but he just gets quiet. And you can tell he's getting himself ready to do this. And so he knows his course intimately. He's been on it a million times. He's comfortable with that piece. We've talked a little bit about strategy and what we're thinking, what we think it's going to look like. But for the most part, you know, there's certain athletes. You know, we had Maya Ramson last year. With Maya, it was race day management was a full day activity. With Graham, it's the exact opposite. You just leave him be.
In terms of strategy, how do you guys approach this course, and then what athletes are you guys targeting to say, hey, if this guy makes the move, this is who we have to pay attention to?
Well, you know, from a strategy standpoint, that's for him and I. It's disgusting. Anyways, but
had to ask.
You know, yeah, nice try. Well done. No, it's but from a personnel standpoint, obviously, you know, there's some guys out there that are terrific. Obviously, Habtum is, I think, the guy with the bullseye. You know, Graham won last year, but Habtum was second. Graham makes the Olympics. Habtum should have been at the Olympics. Like, Habtum wins the outdoor title, runs 28.652. I mean, you're splitting hairs here on who's the better athlete. But there's going to be others, and so, you know, who is going to be in the race? Well, we'll see at 8,000 meters. Like, we'll get to that point and start to figure out who's actually going to try to win this thing.
And it sounds like in general, it's like get to 8K and then the race will.
We'll see who's in that front group. The question is will the hammer go down like it did at pre-nats? Like, are they going to run that aggressively from the gun? That certainly simplifies things. You know, and that's what happened at Charlottesville last year. So we'll see. It's gonna be interesting.
Is that a kind of race that suits Graham well?
I think he can do either now. I was telling your guys when they were on campus last week, looking through the data, but the last 2K at the Olympics for him were 4:58 for 2,000 meters. Like he can close for sure, and so I think he can run it both ways.
And then on the team side, both men and women, if you're looking at this, what are you telling them? I know the men, they're ranked in the top 20. How are you hoping they can maybe overperform our rankings, that sort of thing?
Yeah, so the men, I think, are pretty good. Obviously, if Graham is sensible, we're scoring 4 against most people's 5, and that's a real asset at this meet. We had a good nutty comb here. A couple of our people got beat up in several different ways after that, so we're a little down on depth, but we seem to have solved our 5th man issue that we had at HEPS at regionals, and if we run patiently on the back end, I think the men can surprise. I think we're certainly way better than our ranking. I think we could potentially be really good through 3 or 4. With the women, it's a little different just because this is the slowest starting women's team that I've ever had. So we will be like 28th, 29th, 30th at the first split. The question is where we're going to be at 4K and of course at the end. Like the girls did a really good job at pre-nationals of running through the field. And if we can do that again, we're going to beat some people.
Coach, thank you so much.
Yeah.
It's going to be a fun one out there tomorrow. Where will you be? How will you be spectating this thing?
Nervously. Just trying, particularly on the men's side, you just kind of want to get through the first 20 minutes of running. Like, just let's get this done and let's just do the last 10 minutes. But I like to find quiet spots on the backstretch away from everybody. Try to give advice if it matters at that point.
Well, best of luck to you guys out
yeah,
there.
Pride of Cheverus, Maine.
Yeah, I love it.
Thank you.
Thank you.